Happy Monday, everybody. Let's take another walk in the garden. This week, let's see, my mint is definitely starting to take over, but we've got some nasturtiums blooming and a cosmobloom here. The eucalyptus tree is growing, and then a nice neighbor of mine brought me a potted banana plant over the weekend. My experimental carrots are growing well, and our cucamelons are still growing and trellising up. And then the morning glories that are in here with them have started taking over the fence lawn here. So I'm going to start this week down on the opposite end of where we normally do. We had a tropical storm come through this weekend, and it did blow some of the corn over, as you can see here. And it also blew down some of the sunflowers. And it watered the clovers to the point they're taking over now too. But our big sunflower I had to actually pick back up and tie up. It was laid down over this fence here. And when we measured it yesterday, this bad boy is now 12 feet 2 inches tall, and has started putting off little baby sunflowers everywhere. I had to pull one of my squash plants over here, and then 2 or 3 of them down this corn row. We've had some issues with squash vine borers. Let's see. This big guy is starting to make some actual sunflower seeds. Tomatoes are full, and these are the green zebra varieties, so even when they're ripe, they stay green. They just turn a little more yellow on the top, and they've got kind of a sweet flavor when you eat them. Some of these guys are getting really big. I've had to tie up some, and let's see. And then some of them are taking over the top of the trellis, and I've had to take down my hanging baskets and hang tomatoes from the hanging basket, because these cherry tomatoes have decided they want to go everywhere. And amongst this mess of corn, I've got some beans growing pretty good. My aromas are not looking so fabulous this week, though. Too much rain for some of these. This is my yellow tomato plant, and it's got a really mild flavor when you eat it. I did a huge cutback on my lime basil yesterday and dehydrated a bunch out of it. Gotta figure out a way to stand this pepper tree up. Like I said, we had a lot of wind from the storm. A lot of my marigolds are in the aisles now. But butter beans are going to be ready before too long. Peppers everywhere. And then this massive marigold, I don't know if you can see that. We've already tried to tie it up once. It keeps splitting and cracking, and it's just kind of everywhere. But I will say the garden is the one place I have the least amount of mosquito problems when I'm out here. The regular yard I get bit quickly. But between the dragonflies, who mosquitoes are their favorite meal, and marigolds, I don't have a whole lot of trouble with mosquitoes in the garden. This guy's getting huge. And I don't know. Several weeks back, I did the last decent sized storm we had. I had planted one tomato plant pretty deep to save it because it had gotten knocked over, and that would be this one. And he's as tall as the trellis now. I'm working on getting taller. So my plan worked, and he is super strong and full of fruit. Now, this is my North Georgia candy roaster. I've only got the one planted of it. And we had some trouble with the squash vine borer. I sprayed it's an organic pest spray. It's called pyrethrin. And you can see there's still some issues back there. I'm going to need to come and spray again. But I'm hoping I can save this one. See, even the little bee likes it. But it's kind of struggling. So this massive mass of plant here is all one. It's my lemon cucumber, and it is taking over the world. And then this beside it is my Kajari melon. I haven't seen evidence of a melon yet, but I'm keeping my eyes open. So most squash, melons, anything that's in that cucurbit family, they have two types of flowers. There is a male flower, like this one. It's on a long stem with a big, bold, bright flower, and that helps attract the pollinators. And then they have the female flower, and the female flower is normally attached with a fruit, and the fruit is attached to the actual stem. And it's a smaller flower. You get about 6-to-1, 8-to-1 ratio of male flowers to female flowers. And that is to help make sure that the female flowers get pollinated once they open. And the male flowers come first to help attract those pollinators. So, little lesson in squashing cucumbers today. All right, got my loofahs growing, and we've got a loofah. I'm excited to see how this one will turn out. One beside it did not get pollinated, and that's what happens if the female flower does not get pollinated. The fruit on it does not grow. Now this is the lemon cucumber on this side of the trellis, and it is nowhere near the size of the one on the other. So I think there's something on this side of the trellis that is inhibiting growth, because nothing over here has done quite as well as the opposite side. My Celtis asparagus lettuce has definitely bolted. Just with the storm this weekend and the constant rain showers on and off, I did not get out here and pull any of this up. So that's a next weekend chore now. This squash plant is doing well. Let's see. That's some more damage from the storm. Most of my damage, though, was kept to my zinnias and my sunflowers. I didn't lose much in the way of actual garden produce. So I was happy with that. Got some cucumbers growing. These zinnias are growing up in and amongst the runner beans that are going. And I kind of like the runner beans. They take a little while to mature, but they're full of these very pretty flowers while they do. This is another little cucamelon bush, and it's got a couple of tiny little melons on it. And the rest of my lettuce that needs to be pulled because I don't think that can be eaten for lettuce. My beans, we're still steadily picking green beans off of these, the dragon beans. And then a little bit of wind damage in this bean patch, and they're just about ready to start producing. We got a lot of flowers on it. Speaking of flowers, my lily bush has really outdone itself with all this rain, and she is looking fabulous. And so is the strawberry bed. All right, guys, that is it for this Monday. I hope you have a fabulous day. Keep gardening on. I'll see y'all next week.